All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's review is going to be on the Mihogo NX. Now, this is a pre-production model. Right now, this bike can be purchased through the Indiegogo campaign. And I'm going to start off just by saying it's $999, but it's a dual battery bike. And that's how they advertise it. And what I mean by that, it is a bike that comes with two batteries for only $999. So let's get into it. One of the things that made me interested about this bike is that I've never been really part of like a product pre-launch production type model thing. And I'm like, yeah, send it over. I'll run it through its paces. We'll see how it does. Well, this bike has a magnesium frame. It weighs 66 pounds, but because of this magnesium frame, it has a payload capacity of 550 pounds. It's a class 3 e-bike, so that means it'll do 28 miles an hour via the half twist throttle or your pedal assist. It comes in 3 colors:
green, orange, and red.
This bike is built for a huge range of rider sizes. It can go from 4'9" to 6'8". Mihogo says that the NX can do 60 to 80 miles per charge, but I also believe that they meant with both batteries. And we'll go into that here in a minute. As you know, I'm gonna test it out. Now, they do have an optional back rack that you can get for this bike for $89, but then I saw that they have like this bag that'll go on the back rack, and it's like this leather cool looking thing. It has 2 panniers on the side, but then also a little section there to hold your battery. So you could definitely take your battery with you when you go out if you get those optional items. Another thing that I thought interesting about this bike is that it comes with an app, and you can use that app to lock the bike to ensure that nobody else can use power unless they know the code or your app unlocks it. The NX uses a 48-volt, 750-watt rear hub motor with a 1,000-watt peak capacity and 85 Newton meters of torque. The transmission is a Shimano 7-speed transmission along with a Shimano tourney derailleur. It has a derailleur guard and the Shimano thumb shifter. The NX's stopping power is provided by a Logan 2-piston hydraulic brake system and 180 millimeter rotors on the front and rear. Now, I don't think I mentioned it before, but this bike is a full suspension bike. So not only is it foldable, it has hydraulic brakes, it'll do 28 miles an hour, but it is full suspension because this part back here moves. The battery is a 48-volt, 12.8 amp hour with 614 watt hours of power, times 2. Remember, they give you a second battery to go along with this one. It does come with a 48-volt, 2-amp charger. Takes 6 hours to charge the batteries. You can either unfold the bike and take the battery out, or you can charge it from this little charging port right here. The NX will come with an adjustable front fork suspension. It's going to be spring-loaded. You'll be able to lock it out, lock it in, adjust the spring tension on it. This is a prototype model, so I don't have that version, but you will, and it'll have 76 millimeters of play. Also, check out these one-piece color-matching magnesium wheels. They are 20x4. They have these Chow Wang tires on them. As you can see, it has a pretty aggressive tread on it, and they're puncture resistant. Some other features that come with the bike include, you get a set of fenders, they're plastic. You get a set of plastic foldable pedals, a quick release seat post, a pretty decent padded seat. I mean, I rode the bike over here to do this review, and that feels pretty good, so I'm optimistic about the long range test with that, and an adjustable stem. Cockpit Operations. Before we get started, I added a mirror on the end. That does not come with the bike. Here is a grip over here. It is kind of hard rubber. Actually, it's pretty hard to be exact. And you have your front brake lever right there. To turn the bike on, you're going to long press the power button and it'll come on. This is a 2.5-inch color display, and it has a ton of features. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, but before that, it does have 5 levels of pedal assist, and you go through those through here by hitting the up button, and then you can use the down button to go down below. Quick press on the power button takes you into the settings menu, where you can adjust the brightness of the screen, the unit, like miles or kilometers, how soon you want it to turn off. You can adjust the wheel size to make sure it's reading correctly. You can adjust the speed limit. Now mine was already set at the highest level that there could be, and I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So you just hit the power button and get in there. It says 50, that's where we're at. And then you just hit the power button again. 0 start, this is at when you start the bike up. Do you want it in a pedal assist level or not? Boost drive, you can actually control whether you want to just use throttle or pedal assist, or both. And mine is set up for both right now. Start strength, now this is where it gets interesting because it wants you to know that when you do start using the pedal assist, do you want it to start off easy or do you want it to give you all the power? I mean, this thing has a ton of features that you can use to, oh, I just turned it off. It has a ton of features that you can use to customize this bike. You have your trip reset here, and then if you have an error code, well, it'll pop up and tell you what that is. You have these different Bluetooth levels, voltage level. Right here is where you can set up your password. If you want it on the bike, and that's a 4-digit code, you can have Bluetooth, and that's where I did connect. This is how you connect the app to the bike. And once you're connected, then Bluetooth will unlock it as you walk up to the bike, which is a pretty cool feature. This is the app right here. And if you hit connect, it's connecting to the bike. And now if I want to go, I just hit go, agree, and boom, it shows where I'm at. And it has this whole built-in navigation thing. And from there, if I say, where do I want to go? And I say, like I said, Navy Pier. Great. Well, let's go to Navy Pier. You can start navigation or you can do a simulated navigation and listen.
Turn right, then turn left.
So it'll give you audible
Turn
cues.
Left, then turn left onto Luis Munoz Marin. Turn left onto Luis Munoz Marin Drive. In a quarter mile, turn left onto West Division Street.
Now, if you didn't want to use the app, look. You can see that the navigation is also built into the screen so you can have your phone in your pocket or whatever, and it'll definitely get you in there. The reason it's moving right now is because we have it on the simulated trip, so it's kind of giving you an idea, showing you exactly how it is.
West Division Street.
Because right here is where it's showing you that you would be turning. So I think it's pretty good. You could use a phone mount right there, and then you would have the directions this way, or you could have it in your pocket and just use that right there. On the right-hand side, you control your throttle with this half-twist throttle right here. Here's your rear brake lever and your 7-speed Shimano gear shifter. I did add a bell to it. It doesn't come with one, but I always throw one on whenever I'm doing my reviews. This bike does come with an integrated headlight and tail light. You just hold down on the plus button. As you can see, the screen dimmed, and it turned the headlight on, and it has a rear brake light and tail light as well. This rear tail light also acts as a brake light. And as you can see, whenever you hit the brakes, it lights up. Even when you turn the headlights off, it will still light up when you hit the brakes. Since we're here, we're going to cover sizing of the bike. Let me show you the smallest position that the seat should be in. And this is the lowest position your seat would be in for your 4'9" rider. And then let's take it all the way up to the highest here. Right there, that is the highest setting. Bring this up. And that is the highest setting for your 6'8" person. The bike extended out is only 68 inches. I'm 69, so it should just be an inch shorter than me. I mean, I can see right over the top as I scrape the fender. Yep. And when it's folded, it's only like 39 to 40 inches. So let me show you how to fold this thing. It's very simple. There's a button right here. You're going to push it. You're going to open that tab. There's a tab right here. You're going to lift it up, or actually up. There we go. Pull that down. This will fold down. This bike will fold over. And lift the kickstand up. And it has a little wheel down here at the bottom so that if you have to like put it in your car and you're rolling it in or out, you can just roll it. It's now time for my favorite part of the review, and that's where I take this thing out into the city, and we're gonna see how well the NX does. All right, so we have the bike with no pedal assist on, and it's in 0. So it's no throttle, no pedal assist, and riding this bike is relatively slow. I'm getting a solid 7 miles an hour while just heading down here. I'm in gear 2. Let's see if Gear 3 makes it any better. Oh yeah, picking up a little speed, so it's not that bad riding it with 0 pedal assist on. We are now going to go ahead and try the pedal assist levels with just throttle. Go ahead, I just put it in pedal assist 1, and let's see how fast it takes us. I don't know if it's going to take, oh, still see, it's just going to take us all the way up. So it doesn't matter what pedal assist level you're in, it's going to take you to the highest speed. And it looks like pedal assist will take you up to 28 miles an hour, but it took a long time to get there. That zero to max is going to be a long time in this video. This motor's not very quiet. It's going to scream at you. Now we're trying the pedal assist. We're in pedal assist level 1, and we're just going to go with pedaling to see. All right, so it took like a rotation for the pedal assist to kick in. Let's see what our speed can be for that. So I can comfortably cruise at 14 miles an hour in pedal assist 1. Let's go ahead and see what pedal assist 2 does. Pedal assist 2 has me going comfortably at 17 miles an hour. We are now in pedal assist number 3, comfortably cruising at 19 miles an hour in pedal assist 3. Pedal assist 4. Oh man, I wish we had an 8th gear. At pedal assist 4, we're doing 22 miles an hour. I feel like I'm on the edge of ghost pedaling. I almost cannot keep up with it. So let's go to pedal assist number 5. Since we don't have an 8th gear, pedal assist number 5, you will ghost pedal. If you try to, let me try to get going here. Yeah, I'm doing 25 miles an hour and I'm starting to ghost pedal. So if you want to do 28 miles an hour, you're going to have to use your half twist throttle to do that, because your feet just won't be able to keep up with the speed. We are here to do our hill climbing test. We are in pedal assist 5. It's going to be throttle only, so let's go and let's see how these 85 Newton meters of torque do coming up this hill. We are just moving. This thing has all kinds of torque. 8 miles an hour heading up this hill. I feel like whenever I have a bike and it has this half throttle, I just end up riding it like a motorcycle. I way prefer to just use the throttle as opposed to pedaling as I do when it comes to using a thumb throttle. Just something about that makes me want to pedal more. The seat feels pretty good. We'll see how it is after multiple miles, but right now we're off to a good start with it. I do think that this motor is awful loud, and so not only can they see you coming with this bright yellow, but they can also hear you coming because of the tires and the motor making noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this test short for today, and here's the reason why. I'm looking down and my battery is almost dead, which makes me wonder, did I even charge it up? I know I charged up one of them and I thought I put that battery in here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go back. I'm going to charge up this battery. I'm going to make sure both batteries are charged, and then the next day we're going to take it out for its mileage test, because I don't feel like I would be doing this bike justice unless we did that. It is now 2 days later. I have the battery in my backpack, so I switched my backpacks out so I could carry it, and I have reset the mileage on this. I have Strava going, and so there is no way that we are not going to track this entire trip. Now, some of the things that you might have noticed is the weather in Chicago has definitely changed. It is a lot colder. We went from 80 degrees to now it's like 60. It's been raining for the past 2 days. It's going to rain again today. It has been raining already. And I am going to see if I'm going to get stuck out in the rain. If we do, this bike is IPX rated, so we should be fine when it comes to riding in the rain. I am also IPX rated, but I did bring a raincoat and some rain pants, so let's see what happens. I am testing out a new helmet. It's by Basecamp. It's the SF999. It does have a Bluetooth feature in it where it connects to my phone. From here, I can accept phone calls, I can listen to music, and it has built-in turn signals to where whenever I decide to turn, there is a remote control that goes on your handlebars. These handlebars are pretty full, so I just left it off today, so I won't be using the turn signals. But it's a pretty cool helmet, and it's only about $90. So the neat part about that is it's not very expensive for all of that technology. I have a discount code so you can save 5% off if you use it, but I will also be giving one of these helmets away once I hit 3,500 subscribers. So to enter that contest, all you have to do is just leave a comment. Most of this test will be by using just the throttle only, as I do find the ghost pedaling in pedal assist 4 and 5 too much to bear. So we will just be using the throttle for this trip. One thing that I've noticed with this controller is that when you turn the bike off, because I did stop for lunch and then I stopped right now to get the thumbnail photo, and it reset the trip. So it's a good thing that I'm running this on Strava, as I would not be able to have the total distance that we would be able to go on this bike, because it just keeps resetting every time you turn the bike off. All right, guys, we've gone 7.45 miles, and that's what Strava tells me, and we've already dropped 2 bars. So it's a good thing that I brought the extra battery with me, as I still have multiple tests to do with this bike before I head back home. Here we are doing the speedometer test, and as you can see, it looks like it's pretty accurate. So that's good. It might be off by 1 mile, but that seems to be about the average of these bikes being off about 1 mile per hour. Now, since I've done this update, we've only gone 1.3 miles, and I've dropped down to 1 bar left on this battery. You know, if you are a kind of person that normally does under 20 miles an hour, well, then this is a good bike for you, because you can easily pedal it, and it does feel comfortable under 20, especially for this kind of distance. We are here to do the 0 to 20 test. Now, we're only going to do pedal assist because it took forever with the throttle the other day when we did it, and I already know that that's going to take forever. So let's see how long it'll take us to get to 20 miles an hour using pedal assist only. Let's start the timer, and let's go. We're off to a slow start, but she picks up pretty quick. Hopefully this works out. And it only took 12 seconds to get up to 20 miles an hour using pedal assist. You know what? We'll go ahead. We will go ahead and do the throttle, because now I'm just curious. 0 to 20 using throttle only. Start, and let's go. And it took about 13.5 seconds to get to 20 miles an hour. Oh, now I remember yesterday, or when I did the other test, it was for top speed, and that took forever. All right, we're going to do the brake test. I'm going to pass by these people. We're going to see how well it stops. Let's go ahead and go. I'm going to try to pick up as much speed as I can and see how it does. We are doing 20 miles an hour. Whew. We're at about 24 feet. We always do the brake test twice. I do have some people in the way. I tell you, there's been so many people out that finding a safe spot to do this, not always the easiest. So we're going to go ahead. Let's see if we can go faster than 20 miles an hour this time before we hit the brakes. 22. So either way, we're going to stop around 24 feet, which, that's good. All right, let's talk about some of the basics with this display. Although it does give you a lot of customization, it doesn't tell you how many watts you're using. So I don't know how much longer I have in this battery. And it also not having the percentage on how much you have left would be very helpful in figuring out how far you can go. But instead we just have the bars. We're still in the red. We're still going. Also, when it comes to power management, this bike is in the red on the battery, but it isn't giving me any less power, which is a good thing, because we don't have the pulsing sensation that we get with some of the bikes. Instead, I'm just getting the same amount of power that I got when it had like 2 or 3 bars. The battery is now flashing. I'm not sure you guys can see that. So we are getting to the end of its life. I'm so glad I have another battery with me. Even with the battery flashing, I am not having a loss of power, which is impressive. This battery's flashing, so let's go ahead and see if I have throttle power. I do. I still have the throttle working with this battery being almost dead. And we are picking up speed. We are going farther than what I thought we were going to go with this battery. The full suspension part of this bike works really well. And I'm even still comfortable on this seat. I would definitely want that rack though that has the panniers and the battery holder, because you don't want this weight in your backpack of this battery. Okay, now we're at the part where it's not providing full power to the crank system. I'm on pedal assist level 5 and I'm pedaling, I'm doing like 7 miles an hour. So we're not gonna make it too much farther before we have to switch this battery out. Let's see how fast we can go with just throttle. So the battery is flashing as it's almost empty, and we're still doing 12 miles an hour just by throttle only. Normally with a lot of batteries, you know, you see the high power and then it takes forever for it to drop down to like, you know, a lower 2 bars or like a 50%. And the ones that has 50%, it drops down to like real low numbers quickly. But with this bike, it was dropping. And then when we got to the lowest bar, well, I thought we'd be out of power a few miles back, but we are not. Now I'm just using pedal assist and I'm pedaling in, I'm in gear 7. I'm not using any of the throttle, and I'm still comfortably riding at 13 miles an hour. Now, normally when we have full battery, we'd be doing well over 20 miles an hour at this point. I'm about 3 miles from home. I'm wondering right now if I'm gonna make it. I might actually make it. We made it 20.58 miles, that's what Strava tells me, before we ran out of battery power. And now I'm gonna go ahead and switch this thing out. I am surprised on how far we were able to go, right? The NX is supposed to do 60 to 80 miles on a full charge, but like I said before in the beginning, I believe that is for both batteries. And I also believe that it's for a rider that's not 220 pounds who put it in 5th gear using a lot of throttle and a couple of hills. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch the battery out. We're gonna head home and I'm gonna give you my final thoughts. All right, guys, we have made it back. Let's go over some of the things that I liked and that I didn't like with this bike. Number 1, I like how I rode. It rode very comfortable. The seat does a great job. The dual suspension also works incredibly well on this bike. I was also a big fan of the hydraulic brakes. I felt very secure when stopping, and that's always a good thing, especially when it comes to safety. The bike is very solid. It didn't feel like there's many loose parts or anything like that with the bike, and that builds a lot of confidence when you talk about and you think about the quality that this bike has. A couple of things that could be improved. Well, I'm a thumb throttle kind of guy. So if you're using a half throttle, as I was, you have to have it torqued back most of the time during the ride. I prefer the thumb. But if this bike would have had cruise control, that would have been a super nice thing. Also, when it came to the display, having a battery percentage or wattage would also help when making you feel more secure about how far the bike can go or where you're at when it comes to the battery level. The ghost pedaling, well, to me, that was kind of a big deal. Now, I was very comfortable riding this bike anywhere up to 20 miles an hour. After 20 miles an hour, well, you might as well just go to the throttle because you will be ghost pedaling no matter what gear you're in on this bike. Now, when talking about battery power and distance, we must remember that this is a smaller battery than other ones that I have tested when it comes to these folding bikes. Normally those are in the 700 watt hours. This was in a high 600, I think it was like 680. So it's not gonna go as far as the other ones. It did go farther than what I thought it would. And switching the bikes out or switching the batteries out was pretty easy. I do like the fact that they fixed it so there's no rattling with this battery inside the tube. If you are interested in this bike, I tell you what, just go ahead and check it out on Indiegogo. They're having different programs and different specials no matter when when you've seen this video and you click on the link. Right now it's for $999. It might be different. They might be throwing in racks or whatever. So go ahead, if you're interested, take a look at this link below and see maybe this bike is the right one for you. If you are interested in the Basecamp helmet that I mentioned earlier in this review, well, go ahead and check out my description down below. You'll learn more about it there. If you're interested in it, there's a discount code that you'll save 5% off this helmet. But if you want to try to win it for free, well, all you have to do is comment in this video below, and when I hit 3,500 subscribers, well, I'm going to buy this helmet for somebody. We have made it to the end of this review of the Mihogo NX. I appreciate you for watching, and until I see you again, enjoy the ride.